I love being black. All right, people, you already know what it is. This is live, uncut, and unedited. We got Jessica, JJ in the house, Jessica Jackson. Mama Jackson, that's what I call her. I
Oh,
stole that
there
from
you
Jamar
go.
Gray, call her Mama Jackson. Yeah,
No, there
Mama
you
Jessica,
go.
Mama Jessica. So,
No, there you go. Nah.
listen, hey, she said, no, 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 don't do it like that. Listen, don't do it. Hey, Jessica,
No.
I used to be like that
Mm.
when they said, Mr. Martin. I said, you don't have to call me Mr. Make me feel so old, but it's just a form of respect. I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Well, no, that's true. But also, there's already been a Mama Jessie in my family. That was my grandmother.
Okay.
You
Oh,
know, so
oh,
I
hold it,
don't,
hold it,
you know.
hold it. Let me make some adjustments real quick. Hold it real
Okay.
quick. I see something before we even get started. I'll see it now.
Okay.
Make some adjustments to the audio.
Oh, okay.
To the audio. We don't need no mistakes. No mistakes.
None.
There we go. That's better. Now, can you hear? That's much better.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. They couldn't hear you at first, but come on in, y'all. Y'all already know she's a celebrity. She's a national celebrity right now. Whether she want to agree or not, like a couple of years ago, didn't nobody know who she existed, but now she can't go nowhere. Aren't you that woman with the red hair to be da? So she's been all through the country. Her and the Flip Red, and they've been standing, y'all. I'm telling you, they listen. They few in numbers, but they making big noise, getting big results. A lot of you that don't know no better, you just thinking they just down there hollering and screaming. That's all you thinking they doing, but it's more than meet the eye. Trust me. The Bible said one plant, one water, and God gives the increase. Period. So it's a new day, people. It's a new day, and they know their time is just about up. I'm telling you, because black people ain't being fooled no more. Now, y'all know I'm a registered Democrat, but I'm listening, Jessica. You might not believe it, though, but I'm listening. It take a whole lot to convince me, but I'm listening now. I'm listening, I'm watching, I'm observing. I'm like, okay, what's this? And this makes sense here. One thing about me, Jessica, I learned. Some people, just because they don't like you and you can say truth, they don't want to hear it. But
Yeah.
I'm a truth seeker. Brother, if
Mm-hmm.
I like you or not, you be like, you know what? I don't like Miss Jessica, but she right. She 100% right. See,
Yeah.
we fall in love with the messenger, but not the message. And that's what I'm trying to say. We need a good message, Jessica,
Mm-hmm.
good message.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
listen, we got Jessica right. Jessica Jackson, she is a Republican. She's a registered Republican. She's not
Mm-hmm.
she's not a Democrat by night now and a Republican in the daytime. We got those folks too. They don't know
Yes,
they
we
don't know what
do.
they want to be. They don't know what they be. They claiming one thing, but they all the way on the other side. And me, this is my thing. Whether you red
Mm-hmm.
or blue, Republican, Democrat, you better represent your folks that look like you. You better. I said you better. Now listen, as I say publicly, I can find fault in both parties. But guess
Yeah.
what? We all can, to be real honest. But I know
Mm-hmm.
my core values. I don't believe in abortions. I don't believe that transgender should be going in men's bathroom and playing in women's sport. I don't believe those are the things that I stand for. Those are my religious beliefs. That's my
Mm-hmm.
core, what I stand for. I believe that sex is between a man and a woman, and anything outside of that is anti-sex. That's what I believe. That's what I believe, and that's what I stand on.
Anti-sex.
Yeah, that's what it is. Anything if it's not between a man and a woman, it's anti-sex. It's going against nature itself. Period.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't believe in we transforming little boys into girls or little
Mm-hmm.
girls into boys. That is off the table with me. Now,
Yeah.
do I respect everybody? I respect everybody's opinion in life and all that,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not
Mm-hmm.
that's not God. That's not God at all. That's not God. But Jessica, we're gonna get started. I don't know exactly what we're gonna talk about, but I'm here to listen. And I have not, I don't have a list to critique you, or I don't have a list what you say, what you can't say, or what you can't. Just let God use you. You're a praying woman, Hey, listen, cry loud and spare not. Hey, all you can do is deliver the message. Now, what
Yeah.
we do with it is on us. So we can't say you didn't tell us if we get stuck. Hey, everybody know I voted for Brandon Johnson. I made it public, and I apologize. I listen, Brandon Johnson, if you listening, man, you had a powerful man behind you, stood behind you, relentless, bro. But the direction that you went into, it wasn't good for black people at all. That's all I had to say. Okay, Jessica, I'm gonna quit talking and let you do what you do. And if I need to stop, we'll go out. Also, we're gonna take questions. Are you willing to take some questions?
Oh, for sure.
Now, do they have to be Democrats or do they have to be Republicans? Which one? You know, they can be either. It don't make no difference.
Don't make no difference.
Okay,
It
cool.
doesn't make a difference at all.
Okay, cool. So tell us how you became on your journey. Let's talk about when you first started flipping over, changing over. What made you decide to be a Republican and all that? What influenced you?
Well, I started the first time I voted for Trump
Okay.
I was still living in
But
California
you probably
then.
still a Democrat then. I voted for Trump. I'm a Democrat. Yeah, go ahead.
No, when I just made the decision to vote for Trump, the second time he ran against the first time he ran against Biden, right?
Right.
I knew then that I didn't want to be a Democrat anymore. I realized that when I voted for Hillary Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
When Hillary Clinton ran against Donald Trump the first time, I did vote for Hillary Clinton because I had always been Democrat, had always been born and raised Democrat. So yeah, I voted for the Democratic candidate, which was Hillary Clinton. And I remember leaving out of the voting poll and thinking, I really just wasted my vote. I knew it was a waste of vote. Before I go any further, first of all, thank you for having me on. I'm excited to be on because you have a very diverse audience, right? And
Yes,
like you mentioned, you push for Brandon Johnson, and a
Yes, I
lot of
did.
your audience is heavily Democrat.
Yes.
And I listen to the topics because you have a lot of good topics that have to do with Black people that are not necessarily political, but they have to do with Black people. And I'm Black before I'm anything. You know what I'm saying? So on that, I've watched your show. And I'm glad to be on this show because I've seen the growth of you personally in politics.
With your help. Well, y'all, listen, let me
Yes,
share a secret with y'all. Y'all don't know Jessica be in my inbox. Y'all see me be asking a question. I get it from Jessica. I'm telling the truth, y'all. And shame the devil. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Listen, tell the truth.
And shame the
Jessica is like my co-pilot, y'all. I'm telling you. She gets on me. Listen, Jessica, I couldn't get Jessica off the phone the other day. I talked about the crime went down. Jessica said, "You're wrong, Martin. You're wrong." I said, Jessica, it did go down. We're talking about homo. Oh, we argued all day, but we love each other. We argued, though, but we love each other. It wasn't, she didn't cuss me out. I didn't curse her out. It was all done in love.
Yeah, because we both want, at the end of the day, we both want what's best for Black people.
Yes.
The reality is Black people are we're in a bad place right now.
Right.
I'm 63 years old, and I could say in my lifetime, this is probably outside of the crack epidemic. This is probably one of the worst states of Black America that I've ever seen. And so we both want the best for Black people. Both of us love Chicago. And we want what's best for Black Chicago. So yes, we had these conversations. Yes, we have our disagreements about a topic, not a personal attack. About a topic. And it's okay to disagree with a topic. See, that's been a problem in our community and our culture for a very long time. Growing up with people saying, it's two things you don't talk about. It's two things you don't talk about. religion and politics,
Mhm.
religion and politics. And growing up in our culture like that, it really did stop us from being able to engage in healthy debate,
Mhm.
healthy disagreement about serious issues.
Issues.
Politics and religion and our religious beliefs govern the top tiers of our lives.
Mhm.
And when we're not discussing those conversations amongst each other, this is where it has led to us being where we are now. So when you ask the question, what made Chicago Flip Red come to be? And I always find myself, especially in recent times, saying, because I do see how the ideology of Chicago Flips Red has taken off.
Right.
And a lot of the reason why it has taken off is because we've stood 10 toes down on the concept of Black people have to get away from the Democratic Party and
Mhm.
to go Republican. We
Mhm.
haven't wavered in that. Whether we act collectively as a group or whether we act separately and independently,
Mhm.
we have never moved off that square of Black people need to get away from these Democrats and we need to be voting Republican for the here and now.
I have a question.
So go
I have a
ahead.
question. Now, my mother, Democrat, father ain't never voted. He ain't never voted. He ain't never. I'm sorry, y'all.
My father
This
might
old
be guilty of the
yeah,
same thing.
country,
Bless his
old country,
soul.
Mississippi down south,
Yes.
country bunker. Hey, Listen, my father was so stank about racism. Hey, he couldn't stand to see a Negro talking the proper. Hi, my name is Mark Johnson. That would bother him. He was like, I'm just telling you, just keeping it real. I know this ain't got nothing to do with stuff, but
The generation of our parents.
right,
Yes.
right. So I forgot my thought, been laughing, but Chicago, we could truly say, now I can say that Donald Trump and the Republicans, I'm gonna put Donald Trump and the Republicans have not destroyed Chicago.
Oh no.
So I
No.
want to say that.
No.
The problems
Mm-mm.
that we're having right now here in the city of Chicago or in the state of Illinois is not because of the Republicans.
Mm-mm.
The South Side, the way it looks, the West Side, the way it looks, is not because of Donald Trump and the Republicans. That's want to throw that up there. Okay, go ahead.
No, that's what I really want the takeaway to be from this evening. The reason why Chicago, South Side and West Side is in the state that it's in is that red T-shirt that's on your screen, the Disgrace 50.
Mhm.
Those 50 aldermen down there in City Hall is why our city is the way that it is. And of those 50 aldermen, 20 are Black. So there is representation, Black representation in City Hall. It's just that our Black aldermen have completely failed us as a community. And then the 50 aldermen have completely destroyed Chicago.
Mhm. Now, let me
Okay?
say this, Jessica. Now, we have 77 communities here in the city of Chicago. Now,
Yeah.
the ones that are predominantly white, they're thriving. It's the ones
Mhm.
that Black was is declining. So
Mhm.
actually, the white aldermen that represent those predominantly white wards, they're doing okay. While the rest of us
Oh,
suffer.
they're doing well. But when
Yeah.
I say they destroy Chicago,
Okay.
I mean Chicago. I'm not talking about their individual wards.
Okay.
They have taken care of their wards. That's true, Martin.
Mhm.
But in terms of the political decisions that they've made down there in City Hall as Democrats, the ultimate the outcomes have been negative for the whole city.
Mhm.
You understand? As we get into and talk about the budget and things like that, you'll be able to tie those points together of what I'm saying. When we get into talking about property taxes, you'll be able to see what it is that I'm saying. No, it's been the collective disgraced 50. That's for sure.
Okay.
But now, should we hold our aldermen, 20 aldermen, to a standard of expectation from them? Absolutely. Because the city has voted them in.
Mm-hmm.
So there should be a level of expectation of outcome. And no, it hasn't happened. When you ask the question, how did Chicago Flip Red come to be? Well, if people have been listening, everyone knows that it started because Zoe, just like myself, came to City Hall looking for assistance to deal with the issue of our property. In Zoe's case, it was her mother's property that had got a building over there on 79th, off 79th and Halsted.
Yeah, the old sandpiper. I remember that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That building got demolished without proper procedure and in violation of the Fifth Amendment for eminent domain, which is what that clearly is, because they're putting a public grocery store there. Eminent domain is when they tear down, demolish property for public use.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that they're going to they're putting a city grocery store there, yeah, eminent domain. Okay. And by the Fifth Amendment, they're supposed to pay.
Right.
They are refusing. I think her mother's been fighting that case maybe 7 or 8 years.
Now that building is torn down. It's torn down,
Correct.
right? Right.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah. And it's another lot that's right next to it that is empty as well. Okay. And per the Fifth Amendment, they are refusing to pay her mother her money. Okay. Now, in my case, my mother passed in 2016. She had a full will, didn't owe anybody a dime when she died. No debt at all. This building been paid for since I was 15 years old.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow, I was right. And she could pass on, have a full will, not owe anybody a dime. But this property can get tied up in probate now for almost 10 years. Then the county and the city refusing to transfer ownership over to me and my sisters because they're engaging in real estate theft. They are straight stealing people's property, especially in the Black community. A lot of people think that Chicago Flips Red got started because we were going down there talking against illegal immigration. Illegal immigration was only part of what we were talking about, and illegal immigration was only tied into the premise that illegal immigration was another way that they were pushing us out of our communities, that they were also taking our property by way of like eminent domain, the probate process, illegal tax evictions, illegal foreclosures, illegal reverse mortgages. All these, illegal Cook County sales tax sale that they have, annual sale that they have every year, that the federal judge just ruled unconstitutional.
Yes, that's right.
You see?
That's right.
And they said again, in violation of the Fifth Amendment. Because what Illinois was doing, which Illinois is the only state in the country where, let's say, for example, if my property had, let's say, $154,000 worth of equity in it, and let's say I owe $4,000 in property taxes that had gone delinquent and now they want to take the property. Illinois was the only state where not only would they take that $4,000 that I owed in property taxes, but they take the whole $154,000 and left you with absolutely nothing. Nothing. They're supposed to take their $4,000 that was owed to the county and give you back that $150,000 of your equity. They were straight stealing people's property. And they were getting ready to do it again with this high wave of property tax increase that they just threw on everybody. But thank God, because of that case, Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Mm.
That's what pumped the brakes on that. And the only reason why that case, I believe, even got stopped is because we had the new chief justice that just came in. Charles
Uh-huh.
Beach just came in to replace Timothy Evans as chief judge, effective December 1st. Timothy Evans had been the chief judge for 24 years.
24 years. That's true.
And our court system is sitting up here being corrupt like this for 24 years. So this was a historical vote that they did that got Timothy Evans out, instead of it being on the ballot and then people going to the ballot and voting and not voting him back in. No, the associate judges voted within the associate judges and they voted him out.
They did that quietly too.
Oh, wasn't it quiet? If you didn't catch it right then, you didn't know about it. They did. Oh, that was super quiet.
Yeah.
But had that change not been made with the chief judge, I believe that that federal case probably wouldn't have got ruled in the homeowner's favor, because the Democratic Party is about corporation and government ownership. They do not want the private citizens to own anything. They don't want that. That's a Democratic Party issue. Don't you see Boston now crushing behind what? Property taxes. You see New York, I think, New York, they trying to make a rule there. This new mayor wants to make the law there saying that if I'm a private owner that own my own property, and if I decide I want to sell it, they're trying to make a rule, a law there, that I have to offer my property up to the building commissioner department there and a nonprofit and give them opportunity to buy first. And if they don't buy it, then after 6 months, I can offer it up to a private seller.
Oh no.
To a private buyer. Are you kidding me?
Oh wow. They're gonna tell you what you do, how to sell your property, who to sell it to.
And you
That's
tell
crazy.
me that's crazy. And if you tell me if Illinois were to implement that law, you tell me what building over here on the south side, probably west side too, but definitely the south side and over here in South Shore, that the building commissioner or one of these nonprofit here wouldn't grab up. A private owner wouldn't stand a chance. A private citizen wouldn't stand a chance. So that's where Chicago Flips Red came from. And that's why you hear me say, this is bigger than a t-shirt and a hat. And that's why you told me, go put on your t-shirt and hat. Okay, I went back and put it on because I understand, the look that you wanted me to have, and I don't have a problem with it. But originally, I didn't have this on. I had on my regular clothes because this is bigger than a t-shirt and a hat. This is not a club. It's a concept. Zoe coined the phrase because, like I said, she was fighting for her mother's property. And from going down there, Mr. Blakemore had told us about going to all these different meetings to go to City Hall, because I actually started coming to City Hall was when I saw Natasha Dunn and them protesting about the immigrants trying to be moved into South Shore High School.
I remember that. Yeah.
You remember that? Yeah. See, there were people, and I want to make this clear too. There were people that was putting work in terms of trying to deal with this thing with immigration, even before we did. Natasha Dunn and them over there at South Shore, they came out with guns blazing about that issue with South Shore. And even before then, those people over at Wentworth, remember Lightfoot was in office then, remember? And they had told Lightfoot if she moved those people, those immigrants in Wentworth Elementary School, that she wasn't going to get back in office. Remember that?
I remember that.
That's where it first started. that I recall. And then I saw Natasha Dunn and them about South Shore.
Mm-hmm.
And so because I live in South Shore and live close to that area, I went over there literally knocking on doors to find out if anybody knew them, because I knew what I was going through with probate. And I knew that probate, I mean, that illegal immigration wasn't the only way that they was getting us. So I went looking for them to tell them, yeah, they getting us with illegal immigration, but guess what? They getting us with probate. They getting, you see what I'm saying? And finally, this one lady told me that she didn't know where they were exactly, but the attorney for them lived on 76 in Euclid. That was that brown skin guy, the one that they had at first with the
Right.
light beard.
Right.
Right. So I go over there on that block, and as God would have it, he was out on his front lawn, working on his lawn. And I
Wow.
got out my car, right, and told him that I had saw them on TV. And I
Uh-huh.
wanted to let them know about what was going on with my case, issue with probate. And he
Right.
was the one who told me, well, come down to City Hall and tell the mayor. And I was like, you can do that? And he was like, yeah, come on down there. You're going to sign up and you get to speak. And then I'm like, oh, okay. So I'll go down there. And just so happened that day I signed up and I did get to speak. And that's where I began. And then at the same time, which I didn't know Zoe, she was
Okay.
out in front of City Hall with her poster boards and stuff, protesting about her mother's property being taken by eminent domain. So finally, one day, George Blakemore told me about Zoe and for me to go over there and meet Zoe. And so that's how I met Zoe. And then from that, we just started going to all the meetings, with City Hall meetings, Cook County meetings, the public building meetings. We was just going to all meetings, telling them to give us help with our cases. They were stealing our property. And nobody would help us. They straight up wouldn't help us. None of the aldermen, none of the commissioners, not the mayor, not Tony Preckwinkle, nobody would do anything about the fact that they were cheating us in court and trying to take our property through the courts.
Right.
So one day we in the PBC meeting, Public Building Commissioners meeting, and that's a smaller, intimate meeting. And Brandon Johnson and Tony Preckwinkle are in those meetings. And one day, Zoe was doing her public speaking there, and she told Brandon Johnson right then, and Tony Preckwinkle right then, she said, I used to live in Atlanta. She said, and I was in Atlanta when Atlanta went from red to blue. She said, if y'all don't settle my mother's case, I'm going to flip this red. That's how Chicago flipped red, that phrase came to be.
Okay.
And again, that was before T-shirts or any of that. Then from that, it started being an issue, really, that these Democrats are not helping us. And then I started saying from the mic, like, yeah, Trump, we need help on the federal level. Get in office. Get in office. Come on, Trump. Get in office. And that's when we start pushing the ideology of flipping Chicago red in the name of we need help from the federal level. We need a change because Biden and Carmela was in office at the time when we started advocating for Trump. And we were saying we need help, a change at the federal level to take place, because here at the local level, the Democrats are not helping us.
Right.
That's how Chicago Flip Red came to be.
Oh,
and that's the same reason today.
Okay. I did hear that Trump gave you guys a shout out. The ladies in the red hats and, in the red.
Yeah.
And
well, he had given me, Zoe, and Danny a love note already.
Okay.
from us being at the mic, and he saw us in our, shirts and hats, because Zoe got these shirts done. Her and Patrice did these shirts in October 2024.
Okay.
But we had been down there like 2.5 years before these shirts and stuff. And so when she did that, when she got the shirts done, then that quote unquote made it an organization where she wanted it to be a political organization, because she wanted to make it a brand, because that's what she does. She does branding and stuff. So she wanted to make it a brand as a political organization. I wanted to just keep on with the purpose of it, but I ain't into politics like that.
Okay. Now,
So that's why.
I want to
Go
be a
ahead.
groupie. I want to be a groupie for a minute. I became a fan of yours, and I did remember I video you guys on 71st Street in front of the Alderman office on South Shore. Yeah, you were
Yeah,
there.
in front of
You were there.
Yancey.
That's when I first met you. And boy, I said, who is this old mean woman? She mean. She ain't like the rest of them. She mean. You was mean, boy. But I'm telling you, you was mean to me. I was like, this woman is mean, And I don't think you really got a chance to express yourself the way I don't know what it went on, but you were there, and that's the first time that I can remember that I laid eyes on you, because I
Yeah,
did
I
record
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right up there in front of Yancey's office, up on
Right.
Alderman office on 71st.
Right. Then I want to say this too. I said, now Biles, you talking on the telephone. We still talk on the telephone a lot. And I said, you act like you know what you're talking about. We talking about the religious talk. She said, oh yeah, Martin, I'm ordained. I said, I knew it was something about her, because she'd be too much on point. I said, I knew it's something, so I had to say that. And then also I seen you on a lot of major networks going viral. I mean, you're not really an internet person, but I've seen you on a lot of different Republican stations, and hearing you on radio stations and all that. Tell us about that. I mean, I know you didn't expect it to go big like this, but tell us a little bit about that. Just educate my people about you, who you really are. So, because they have never got a chance to see you smile and talk, because they always say you fussing. They always say you fussing. So she do smile, people. She do smile. I know. Go ahead.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, God is good, and there are a lot of things that I wanted in my life. And through this, all the way up into this, God has done it for me. This is the struggle dealing with this property, but the Bible, and the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, where God tells you to write down what it is that you want in your life and put it away. And surely in time it'll come, right? That scripture, right?
Right.
Years ago, this is, maybe like 2004, 2001, maybe. I wrote in that scripture and put it away that I wanted to fight for the injustice for my people. And for God to move in my life the way he has, to get me to a point where he's allowing me to do that. And it came by way of my mother's case. Had I not been fighting my mother's case, I wouldn't have never went to city. I wouldn't have never came back to Chicago, because remember, I had been living in Chicago for 35 years. I mean, California, for 35, for 35 years. I was born and raised in Chicago, in this building. I was born in this building. Okay. And then after I graduated from college, then I moved to California. Just to, living my little young adult life, end up getting married, having children, having my accounting career, whatever. Then my mother passes in 2016. All this started happening with her estate. I fought it 3 years, going back and forth between Chicago and California for 3 years.
That's a lot.
And then And then when I saw that they just wasn't going to stop cheating in these courts, then finally I made the decision
Come
to
on
come
back
to
home.
Chicago and come and move into the building, because that way I knew they couldn't take it then, because
Right.
I'm in here,
Right.
you know?
Right.
So for me to get to this point and to know that I asked God to allow me to be able to speak for my people, I know that I did.
Mhm.
You
Real
want me to
quick.
go get it and show it to you?
Yeah, no, you
Because it's in
can.
my
Listen,
Bible.
yeah, real quick. I know we had talked, and this may be a little bit off the subject, that one of your ministries was jail ministry. You know, you
Yeah,
helped a lot
prison
of people. So
ministry.
prison ministry. So you know how to deal with people. If you can deal with people that's in prison, you can just about deal with anybody. You know how to handle it. Real talk. Not to knock to my brothers behind the wall and sisters and all that. God know I love all of you. You know, as the
Yeah,
Black Panther said, free them all. But I don't want not
yeah.
the crazy ones now. We can free some petty crime, but not the crazy
Now,
ones now.
everybody in jail ain't innocent. Some
Right.
people have committed the crimes.
Right.
Now,
Right.
there definitely are instances where people have been wrongfully convicted. And
Yeah.
again, by me going through this with my case, and even though it's a civil case, you see the corruption of the courts. And
Right.
if they're corrupt like this in civil court, then of course they're corrupt like this in the criminal courts as well. So I do believe for sure there are people that's in jail that have been wrongfully convicted, definitely. But there definitely are those that have done what they've been accused of, and they're doing their time. But at the end of the day, salvation is for them too. Even if they never get out of that jail cell, it doesn't change the fact that Christ died for them too.
Right.
And they need to know that. They need to know that. And so I did that in different forms of prison ministry for a long time. And so now when I get opportunity to assist in that in other ways, then yeah, I'm always open to that too. So I just look at this as another opportunity, to serve the Lord, to serve God. He's good to us.
Yes, he is. Yes,
And
most
he's
definitely.
good to us. And when you look at your life and you see all the things that he's done, all the things he's done,
All right
all the
now.
protections he's given,
Tell the truth
making all the
and shame
ways
the devil.
that of all the ways that he make for you when you don't know which way to go. It's been many days in this case where I didn't know which way to go. I didn't know what to do. And yes, it's the Lord that sends somebody your way. It's the Lord that puts a thought in your mind to tell you, do this, do that. I'll grab a document and I'll look and see that I could have had that document 5-6 years ago and kept looking at it, and never seen. And then this particular day, I could grab that same document and an answer to something that I need is right in that document. And I'd never seen it before that day.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
God. That's God. You understand? And when you look at just how good God is, I've come to realize, like I heard Bishop Noel Jones preach this one day, that really the only way to pay God back is to utilize the gifts that he give you.
All right now. So don't
That's
bury them
what I
talents.
said, Martin. That's
Don't
what I
bury them
said.
talents. That's right. Don't bury.
That's
That's
what I
right.
said, Martin.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
Listen.
that's right. He said, how can you pay God back for all the things that he does for you? How? He said, the only way you can is accept the gifts that he give you and develop those gifts, use those gifts.
Hmm. Well, I want to say this too. Tell me, as a Democrat, registered
Yeah.
Democrat, why should I vote Republican? Just give me some
In
reason.
this day and time,
Yes, in Chicago, yeah.
Yeah, in this day and time in Chicago, we need to flip to the Republican Party. And why? Because the Democrat Party is not doing us any good. We do not have to stay Democrats. That's what I want the listening audience to understand. We do not have to vote Democrat. All of us do not have to stay Democrats. There's nothing wrong with us utilizing both parties of the government.
Mhm.
You pay taxes, it takes care of the whole government,
Mhm.
not just the Democrats. It takes care of the whole government. Why not utilize the whole government? We just said it. If you look over the history of America, there's been good Republican presidents and bad ones. It's been good Democrat presidents and bad ones. So it's no reason to just be one-sided in your voting like that. Me and LaTanya was talking earlier. She made a good point. All other parties, all other groups, understand that you utilize both parties.
Tell the truth. Say it. Tell the truth.
You
And shame
every other group does.
Does,
We're
right.
the only group that's
Right.
just Democrat. No matter what, Democrat. And it's not doing us any good. At this day and time, we need to flip red. All I can tell anybody is
I wanna
go
say something
outside
today.
your door and look at your community.
That's it. I want to say something. And I hope I live to see it. I want to see Chicago have a balance of red and blue. I really do.
A balance.
I want to be able to say when white Republicans or white Democrats see us, they can't predict the way we're gonna vote.
A balance.
A balance. And I guarantee you, they will come in and woo us and solicit our vote. They'll spell out to us what they're going to do for us just for our vote.
Yes, they will.
Go
Yes,
ahead,
they
Jessica. I don't
will.
want to take over your show. I'm sorry.
No. Because I couldn't agree more. This has to stop. This one-tier Democratic policy, governmental machine here, as they call Chicago, the Democratic machine.
Mhm.
Really, what has ended up happening is that they have us as citizens in a straight-up chokehold, a political chokehold. We can't do anything. Every alderman is a Democrat. Every commissioner is a Democrat. Every 501c3 organization is Democrat funded. Every appellate court is all Democrat. The Illinois Supreme Court, Democrat. All down, it's like we have nowhere to turn. That's unhealthy. It has to be a balance. There's no way that the Democratic Party right now should be comfortable enough to do the things that they're doing to us as Black people in this city right now. There's no way they should. You understand what I'm saying? There's no way they should have been feeling comfortable enough for Brandon Johnson to say it's going to be 13 to 15, 12, 13, 15 buses a day of illegal immigrants. Pour them in our neighborhoods. Put the city in damn near bankruptcy. And then when the ICE agents get here, fight the federal government to keep the ICE agents from doing their job to get the illegals out, pay protesters to go down there and fight them all day, every day. And if that weren't enough, run Trump out of town, run ICE and the federal guard or whatever out of town, and within 48 hours, at the Christmas tree lighting, all teenagers break loose. A woman gets burnt up on the train. Another lady gets beat up by a bunch of kids. That other little boy got shot on Dearborn and Lake. You run him out, have us all looking at that, and it's while we looking at that, what happens? Now we go to the mailbox and we got these astronomical property tax bills. For what?
Let's talk
For
about that.
black neighborhoods.
We need to stay on that. Stay on that right there. Don't move off this subject. We got to talk about this. I mean, this is not by accident.
Not at all. Inglewood, 133% property tax increase. Inglewood.
Hold on. What is the median income of people in Inglewood? I wish somebody look that up and give us that. The median income.
I bet you lucky if it's 50,000. You lucky if it's 50,000. 133% increase. And then what is the other one? Lawndale.
Yeah.
I think they were 83, 86%. And then Garfield was 93, 94%. While at the same time, our black aldermen sat back and let the north side and downtown have 5% increases.
And why is that?
And the suburbs 10 to 11%.
What was the excuse for downtown? They said they not.
And they said that the reason why, well, they gave two excuses. The first excuse, remember, on that Chicago Live interview with Maria Pappas, remember she said the first time she said it was because city council, that anytime city council votes on improvements, on something to be improved that the city can benefit from, that the residents and the commercials buildings have to take on that tax increase. Then she came back with the second that said what? That the reason why the tax increase took place in the black neighborhoods like that is because downtown buildings did not get all the rent income that they should have gotten, those high rises and those commercial buildings down there, because after COVID, a lot of them lost their tenants and therefore they didn't get the rent income from their tenants in those high rises downtown, and therefore the city gave them a tax break. What? While at the same time, all them down there in City Hall listening to me say that the public administrators got these people squatting in my building since 2023, making me lose income, but yet my tax bill is in there of an increase of $1,811.64. Then if that weren't enough, they say, I read it in an article, that South Shore has the most evictions, and you told me about that first.
I did. I told you
about that. You told me about that first.
I sure did. Yeah.
That it was more evictions in South Shore than any part of the city of Chicago.
That's the truth.
So if that be the case, Maria Pappas, then it seems to me that it should be plenty landlords over here in South Shore, like myself, that should also get tax cuts, because most of the time, I would venture to say 90% of the time, people get evicted for not paying rent.
Mm-hmm.
So if you got all these evictions, then that means that a lot of people over here in South Shore, they too, like the people downtown, had a loss of income due to empty spaces in their rental properties. But yet our very black.
Oh, she froze. She froze. Sometimes when they freeze like that, they phone, somebody call on their phone, she froze. Mhm. Let me call and let her know she froze. Yeah. My goodness. I'll tell her she froze. I'll tell her she froze. We're waiting on Jessica to return. She froze. She's still talking and don't realize that she's frozen. You froze. You froze. You got to go off and come back in. You frozen. You frozen. I need you to exit out and come back on in. Okay. Thank you. All right. Yeah, she's coming back in. People, I'm enjoying this. This is live, uncut, unedited, and those of you just tuning in, we have Jessica Jackson. We call her Mama, Mama Jessica, and she is one of the ones that's instrumental of going down to City Hall and to the county building to talk about the injustice that's happening in the community, not just for her property, but for others as well as illegal immigration and other things too. The budget, all of those things. So, people, we need people to fight for us. We need people to fight for us. And we have to support our people when they do things like this. You know, a lot of times you say, "Well, she Republican, Martin. I'm Democrat. I don't mess around with them and all that." But guess what? You got white folks that are Democrats. You got white folks that are Republican. Are that? So we want to get the message out that Chicago have another option. Yeah. Yeah, Jessica, go back to your text message. What's wrong?
I did. I don't know why it's not connecting. Just give me the number. I'll call in.
Okay, cool. Okay, I'll do that. I'll text it to you. Okay. All right. She's going to call in, people. We'll do it that way. We don't have a problem with that as well, too. Yeah, hold on, old timer. Hold on.
Has joined.
Yeah. Hold on, old timer. All right. All right. Hold on. All right. That was a great show so far. So far, we're getting some things done. And you could continue to comment, people. We're not biased on this show. I have a diverse audience here. I have majority Democrats and some Republicans, and they all are welcome, especially if you're black. You know, I don't understand this thing about black people. They hate Republicans, but white people are Republicans. Spanish people, Mexican people are Republicans and Democrats. Why can't black people can't be both? Why is it blacks when we see a Republican, we like, you know? Listen, actually, we all can find fault in both parties. I always say, no other party have ever been for black people but the Black Panther Party. And I stand on that. I stand on that. That's my issue. But we have people here that are making decisions for us. Some of you guys on here don't vote. You've never voted a day in your life. Some don't vote because of religious purposes. Some don't believe in the voting process. Shame on you. If you don't vote, you don't have no right to complain. Period. Period. Now, because a black person is a Republican, do that make him a bad person? I say no. Because a black person is a Democrat, do that make him a bad person? I say no. I say no. We're on here, people. So we're waiting for Jessica to come back in. She's going to call in, and she's going to definitely call in. So we're waiting on her to come back. Chicago Flip Red is on here. We got Old Timer. Old Timer, when she come back in, I'll allow you to say whatever you have to say or ask your question. So that's okay. Just hold on. We're waiting on her to get back in the screen or something. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, just hold on. Just waiting on her to get back. So this is live uncut. And do me a favor, YouTubers, please share this video, like this video, subscribe to my channel. Please do that. Interact with this channel. All right? This channel is a non-biased channel. We don't have a one way of thinking. we try to have a balance. We try to have a balance. Now, Jessica is coming in. I see a number coming on the screen. And what I want, listen, now she's going to take some questions. And when she takes some questions, we're not trying to get into what you call a debate. We can have a healthy conversation or a healthy debate. We'll say this. So one thing I learned about Jessica, she's not going to go back and forth with you. And she I don't blame her. She ain't gonna run her blood pressure up. Hey, she's come too far in life. So I'm going to allow some of you to speak here tonight, to talk. But if you get unruly, do any outbursts, I'm going to have to mute you. All right? I'm going to have to do that. So, Jessica, I appreciate you. We're going to open it up for some callers now since you're on the live now. And I don't know what they're going to say.
What the heck happened with my phone?
I don't know. Sometimes
I
your
don't know, but anyway.
But sometimes your notifications or your phone ringing can knock you off. That does that too as well. But we got your picture on the screen.
That's probably what happened.
Yeah, you probably was getting phone calls.
And people saw me already, so we can go ahead and continue on the phone like you're doing. That's perfect.
Okay. Now we got a first guest on here, and I don't know what he has to say, Mr. Old Timer, which you are familiar with him. Hey, Old Timer, how you doing? What's going on? What's your question, your comment, or your thoughts?
Well, I'm doing fine. How's everyone else?
Oh, I'm great.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Good. Well, I don't have no faith in Chicago flipping red. That's not going to happen. And it's not happening for all of the right reasons. It's not going to happen. But if people want to be Republican, then that's fine. They can be Republican. Only thing I just say for black people, if you're going to be Republican, stop talking about black people and just be a Republican. Just stop talking about what the Democratic Party is not doing, because that's not what the Republicans do when they recruit people to be Republicans. They recruit people to be Republicans with subliminal saying, and that's why people like J.D. Vance can come straight out and say that a white person don't have to apologize for being white. They can just go, and because they got rid of the DEI program, so they want to take everything back and make it back the way that it was before, where they dominated. And black people had to fight for everything that we got so far, and they got it around to where you had affirmative action. Now, if a black person is trying to side with somebody, well, I don't want somebody to give me a job just because I'm black. Well, that's the only way most of us got it. The NFL, they kept blacks out. Major League Baseball, they kept blacks out. Basketball, they kept blacks out. They had to fight to get everything. Now here we come along talking about, well, black people think, that we're going to just automatically get in. It's not going to happen. The white people are still in control. And when you got people like the Republican Party that is just flat out speaking against blacks and giving blacks just a little bit. My statement is, if you're going to do something as a Republican, do it and go under, like President Obama said, there's no black America, there's no white America, there's the United States of America. If you're going to do that, then that's fine. But leave black people out of it and just vote and say, I'm going to do this for all Americans. Because in order to be a good boy Republican, you have to say some things against black people, and that I detest that. You have to say stuff like, well, black people have been hoodwinked. Black people, and they want to, like we asking for something. We're not asking for anything. The Constitution states that we are all under one nation, governed under one nation. And it's supposed to be for all of the people, by the people, and for the people. Not just for a group of white people. And that's what the Republican Party promotes. They promote getting things on your own. They promote You know, the best man put the best man forward. They promote. So you're going to always be out of pocket. They got 100 people lined up for one job, and the black person is in there. And if it's going to be where the black person is not going to be able to get it just because they're black, but then you're not going to have no job. And you're not going to put forth that argument in the Republican Party system. You're not going to do that. You're going to go right along with that song and dance with the white people, what they're doing, and that's how they're going to gain back control again. And that's what they're doing.
Okay.
And Trump is straight out. Okay, go ahead. They're straight out doing it.
Thank you for your comment. Okay, Jessica, in your own words, please do not cut her off. In your own words, do you want to address the comment that Mr. Oldtimer said?
Well, I'll address it briefly because at the end of the day, people vote the way they want to vote. If I want to vote Republican, I can do that. Just like if he want to vote Democrat, he can do that. But as far as me as an individual, I'm not nobody's yes boy. I'm not a yes boy for a Republican, just like I ain't a yes boy for no Democrat. All I'm saying is what I'm saying. Chicago flipped bread because if you go, I don't know if Oldtimer, as you call him, I don't know if he lives here in Chicago or not. But if he does, then I would invite him to go take a drive through the South Side in these areas. And then he can determine if the Democrats have done a good job in keeping these neighborhoods up to par. If Democrats downtown have done a good job in keeping Black Chicago together, because Black Chicago, like we mentioned earlier, looks this way because of the Democratic Party, not the Republican Party. And as it pertains to Black people and the Republicans, Black people came into government as Republicans. We didn't come into government as Democrats. In fact, it was the Democrats that enslaved Black people. So, I mean, nobody's asking you to agree or disagree. That's in the textbooks. The Republican Party gave us the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment, the Reconstruction Amendment. Now, the Democrats, who Lyndon B. Johnson was in office at that time, did in fact sign the Civil Rights Bill. But we're not going to sit here and act like the Republicans haven't done anything for Black people, because they have. Just like Democrats have done for Black people. Black people, and as far as, I don't know what to tell you, if you feel like you were never able to get a job based on your merit. Because I've gotten several jobs, as far as I'm concerned, all my jobs based on merit, based on me keeping my nose clean, going to college, getting my education, getting my degree, and I went over here, took tests, or whatever else I needed to do to get me a job. I've never got slid into a job because I was Black. And the stats show that DEI and affirmative action and stuff like that, Black people were not the main benefactors of that. So for you, if you want to stay with the Democrats, hey, go ahead. But for me, who, if you were listening to this show, I told you, for 3 years, I went down there asking the Democrats to help me. And the Democrats did not help me. So for me to keep on going on and on about the Democrats, and not try on the Republican Party, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to keep on hitting my head up against a brick wall. That's not what I pay my tax dollars for. So that's the way I feel. That's the way I'm going to go. Martin, you can take the next call.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the next call is 3268. 3268.
What's going on, Martin?
Hey, Mr. Roosevelt, how are you?
Okay, Miss Jessica.
How are you?
I'm doing great. Happy New Year, first of all, to both of you. And I do have to say, and I do have to agree with Miss Jessica. Just because we are, and even with you, Martin, we are the only race of people who decide, and I wish somebody would explain this to me, but anybody who I put this to, especially any Black person who I put this question to, can never ever explain it. I wish somebody would tell me, well, we're the only group of people who chooses to vote, like you said, one way. because it's just for years. Democrat, 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 Democrat. You vote for the same people who, most of all, have not done anything for you concrete for the last 60, 70 years. Because Democrats always have claimed, especially recently, to be the friends of Black people. Okay, so therefore, if you're my friend, that means I expect much more out of you than my so-called enemies, which in Black people's terms would be the Republicans. I mean, we had Obama in office and we had Biden in office, who were both Democrats. Both did in everything for everyone else, except for Black people. I mean, they passed laws to make LGBTQ marriage legal. They kept laws to keep abortion legal. Here in Chicago and stuff, they're doing stuff or whatever to raise taxes and to give all the money to illegal migrants and all this other stuff. People, all kinds of illegal so-called trash from out of this country that we don't want here no way. And yet they can't even, when Biden was in office, he didn't even issue an executive order to even pass something as simple as the George Floyd Policing Act, but did everything for everybody else. It just seems like everybody, they always talk about Republicans. Oh, Republicans are so what were you accused of, Miss Jessica? Were you going to fall in line? You ain't going to talk to your people. You're going to fall in line and everything with the white people and all this other kind of stuff. And they always act like Republicans are so racist and all this stuff. Remember, we had Democrats in office who are racist. Look at people like Biden, who helped to sign the 94 crime bill and passed it. He was the 94 crime bill, and they got passed under President Clinton, where he's been accused of everything, telling Black people, we're going to put you back in slaves. And he was known to use the N-word in Senate and in Congress. But everybody, they still voted for him anyway. They just looked over that. But if it was a Republican to do it, then, we'd be all up in arms. So, that's just something I'm just not getting. It's this so-called selective outrage that we have. So where they'll let a Democratic candidate like Joe Biden slide with just about anything, but yet wouldn't let a Republican ever get away with doing some of the same stuff that a Democrat did. And why is it that Black people always just have to vote Democratic? And why continue on, because if I'm a friend of yours, that means I hold you much more accountable. And if you're not doing anything for me, what are we friends for? Because you say that you like me, you say that you love me, you say that you care about me, you say that we're BFFs and we're going to be friends forever, but yet you do absolutely nothing for me. You're not there when I need you. You don't show up when I need you to show up. So what are we doing there for it? It's completely fruitless. Even Scripture even says, have nothing to do with the fruitless works of darkness. Because at this point, the Democratic Party is a fruitless work of darkness. Anytime you have a party that pushes ungodly policies, and old time is an ordained minister, how can you align yourself with a group that pushes ungodly policies? Everything that your Bible or my Bible speaks against, the Democrats push. To me, it's something for you to be completely in favor of God. I think you have to completely get out of that and completely renounce and denounce that party, because the Democratic Party of yesterday is not the Democratic Party of today. Look at what's about to happen in New York. They're about to elect the first socialist or communistic mayor. And if you study anything in the past about nations like China, North Korea, or Cuba, that communism and socialism in the end doesn't work. But that's what the whole Democratic Party has pretty much gone to, is a level of communism and socialism. That's what it has evolved to. Because then somebody say something about that when you sell property now in New York under Mamdani, when he takes over as mayor, that you're going to have to try to sell it to the city first, or somebody in the city before a private. Because the thing is, they want you to sell it to somebody in city government, because it's Mamdani's dream to have everything government-owned, government-owned grocery stores, government-owned properties, government-owned healthcare, government-owned daycare. That's the same thing that they did in North Korea, same thing that they do if you study the history of China. And all of that is pretty much it's all in the Marxist communist playbook. But a whole lot of other people and stuff who don't do this research and read the same things like I have never knew.
You know,
Go ahead.
you know, you absolutely right. The points that he made, you know, all I'm saying is at this point, we have to look at what's happening with us right now. Right now.
Yeah.
And right now, Black people are in a bind in the city of Chicago and actually all over this country.
Mm-hmm.
The major cities that we are in, all of them are torn down, messed up. Our communities are horrible. There are
And they're all
some of us
Democratic
that are
cities.
doing okay, and they're all Democratic cities, and the majority of them are under Black leadership. It is a trick that the government played on us a long time ago, which was to put Black people in high position. And then, but behind the scenes, the Democrats are still doing their little shucking and jiving with us. But it makes us bypass the shucking and jiving because the Black face is there. We don't want to hold that Black face accountable. We don't want to critique that Black face. We want to stay on, but they Black, they Black, they Black. Yeah, but look at the condition of our communities. Nobody is saying, see, this is where I think things get thrown off, Martin. People think when you say that you want to vote Republican, automatically they run it into this Trump lane. The Republican Party was a party before Trump even became president. And the fact that people our age, in our 50s and 60s, we quote unquote grew up in the times of Trump. And just tell the truth, Martin,
I'm listening.
were we, when we was in our 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, was it all around that Trump was this racist?
No.
Were we running around talking about Donald Trump a racist?
No.
He a racist.
No.
Were we?
No.
And we have full knowledge of who Donald Trump was. He was all in rap songs. He was hanging out with Whoopi and Oprah and them. He was showing up with Michael Jackson for court. He did that thing with Jennifer Hudson and her family when they had those dire situations and stuff. We then knew who Donald Trump was. It was, matter of fact, when he ran the first time, all this racist talk wasn't going on. The only thing Hollywood was doing and politicians was doing was teasing him for running, thinking that he would never win.
Mm-hmm.
It was only after he won
But
the
Jessica,
first time, and when he went to run again, they started saying that racist stuff.
I want to say something. No matter if he's racist or not, he's the president.
Mm-hmm.
We work for we work for racists. Some of us work for some of these big companies.
Mm-hmm.
They're racist. So because they're racist, are you going to quit? Some of us live around racists. Are you going to pack up and move? All right. Some of us get operated on by racists. So since you know they're racist, you don't want to perform that surgery, that life-threatening surgery of yours. You got to remember, people, you got to be careful calling people racist, and some of them are. But you have to be real careful because that same racist might have you under a knife, cutting on you on the surgical table. You have to be real careful. And listen, one thing we cannot blame, again, racist, I'm saying it, white Republicans on the state of Illinois. Look at our conditions. The white racists or even the president, you can't blame. How much your property tax went up, Jessica, in Inglewood? 100 and something in Inglewood, right?
133%
now,
in Inglewood.
hold it.
133%.
Now, hold it. I'm a registered Democrat. Now, listen, we got to call this mess out. Now, the Republicans didn't do that. Am I correct? Somebody correct me if I'm right. I'm wrong. Did the Republicans raise our taxes up 130-something in the Black community? They didn't do that to us. Who are responsible for that? Who's really responsible for that? See, people,
the Democratic Party down in City Hall.
This is what happened. We've seen a lot of deflection. Black people, we've been told for so many years that there's now no money. The same young lady you see on my screen right now, Jessica, an illegal immigrant told her, "You lazy, no more money for you. You lazy, no more money for you."
Mm.
The
Mhm.
same party that say that they're in love with us, they have given up on us. Now, if you want to go a little spiritual, we can
Mhm.
go there too. The Bible said, where your treasures are, that's where your heart would be
Hmm.
also. So
Mhm.
wherever these white Democrats are spending their money on, that's where their heart
Mm.
is. And it's definitely not on the black folks for nothing construction. Only thing they got for black people is some prisons. That's it.
That's it.
That's all they got for
That's
you.
it. Mass incarceration, 3 strikes law. The war, mm-mm.
Go ahead,
In
Jessica.
recent times.
Go ahead, Jessica.
No, I mean, you're right. But in recent times, now back in the 70s, Nixon did the war on drugs. Just like drugs came into the community, the crack epidemic stuff, that was under Reagan. So neither party can run around here with a rah, rah, rah. But to sit up here and to go on and on and on about how the Republicans are racist, and this is America. America was founded on racism and oppression.
Mhm.
It's not going to go anywhere. And just like our ancestors navigated through it, we got to navigate through it. But to just sit up here
Tell the
and
truth
just keep on
and
acting
shame
like
the
one
devil.
party is good, and the other one, come on, stop it, because it's no truth to it. One of the most disgusting things I saw is when I went up to that Capitol Hill hearing on March 8th when they called Brandon Johnson up to Congress to testify. And I was there. And I'm sitting there, and I'm telling you the most disheartening thing that you ever want to see before in your life. Up that close is to see that whole whole Democrat side. The Jasmine Crockett, the AOCs, all of them, how they was just going on and on for illegal immigrants. I mean, they were just fighting about how Brandon Johnson and them had the right to spend all that money on these immigrants, and they don't lift a finger to fight for Black Americans. For us to be getting 133% tax increase, 90-some tax increase, 80-some tax increase. And then for those of you who didn't know, the school board, the Chicago Public School Board, voted today for another $25 million tax increase.
Wow.
On property taxes. They did that yesterday, Monday. It was in the news today. They're taxing the hell out of us while they sitting up here trying to put up the okie doke that this is about a corporate head tax and all that. When if you listen to that, they said that corporate head tax was only 1.6% of that budget. The real issue was that money on illegal immigration. Notice how they refused to give us an audit of that money or account for that money. They are refusing to acknowledge how it is that these property taxes have gotten like this and unevenly distributed like this. They have refused to acknowledge the fact that all of them got raises. While they sitting here making us pull lint out of our pockets to survive. They got raises down there. They got raises for emptying out illegal immigrants in our community. They got raises for putting us $1 billion in debt. Now it's close to $2 billion. And you still want to talk about the Democrats? You still don't get it? You still want to talk about how much of a racist Trump is? You still don't get it? You still want to reach all the way to Capitol Hill to be mad all about Donald Trump, and you're not mad about what Brandon Johnson is doing to you right here? You're not mad about what those aldermen are doing to you right here? They got your mind so twisted that you just want to focus on somebody that's thousands of miles away, but you scared to deal with the man that's right here on 121 North LaSalle. Make that make sense. But for all of you who are just so stuck, and I hope old time is still listening. It's an article that I picked up the other day, real quick before we go to the next caller, Martin.
Okay.
And the name of the article is More Than 100 U.S. Political Elites Have Family Links to Slavery. And this was printed on June 27, 2023. And this lady did the research. And real quick, in this paragraph right here, I want everybody here, since on this, he erases. It says, in addition, President Joe Biden and every living former U.S. president, except Donald Trump, are direct descendants of slave holders. Jimmy Carter, George W. Bush, Bill Clinton, and through his white mother's side, Barack Obama. Trump's ancestors came to America after slavery was abolished.
Deep. That's
You
deep.
can go to the next caller now,
Okay.
Mark.
872-299-0808 or 872-297-6389. I need some new callers. You can call back. If you try to call in, call back. We got 2 lines are open. We got plenty of room. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. Now, if you're a Democrat, I want to hear from you. If you're a Republican, I want to hear from you. If you're an independent, I want to hear from you. Now, we're going to be respectful in our comments. We're going to respect each other. We're not going to get into a shouting match on here tonight. We're going to stick to the subject. And I need you guys to call in. This is live, uncut, unedited. We got Miss Jessica. A lot of you know who Miss Jessica is. You've seen her. She's gone viral all over the country. Flip Chicago red. Yeah. And I need you guys to call on in. The number is on the screen. And she's looking forward to having a conversation with you. This is your time to make your comment, to ask a question, and she's open for that. No, she's not running for office. She's not campaigning here or anything. She have a passion for what's right, especially for Black people. And one thing I have to respect, Jessica, she love her some Black people. You know, some folks, they'll get in office and pretend like they don't know who you are. They forget about the red beans and rice that they used to eat. They forget about they had holes in their shoes. They started with dirt poor. But they get up there and they look at other Black people like they're so disgusting. They are the bottom of the bottom. Now, I need you guys to call in. Let's make some sense of this. Make some sense of what we're doing here. In the conscious community, they said, if you continue to do the same thing and expect different results, it's called insanity. Now, I did get somebody sent in a statement. Hold on, let me read it. I want to read that. I'm sorry. I want to read this. Maybe you can answer this, Jessica. What did they say? Let me pull it up in the text. Okay, they said, why are Republicans better when Trump hasn't given a health care plan better than Obamacare? I'm going to read it again. It says, why are Republicans better when Trump hasn't given a health care plan better than Obamacare? We got a caller too. Go, somebody want to answer that question real quick? You can, Jessica. Oh, we got 2 more calls. Oh, they calling in now.
I know.
Go ahead.
Okay, good. Well, I know people have mixed emotions about Obamacare. You know, I know some people who had bad experiences with the Obamacare and the issue of payments and stuff with that. I don't know. I never used it, but I do know that the main issue that Trump was dealing with health care is that he didn't want illegals to be able to continue to get free health care. And that was a big issue for Trump. And I agree with that. Illegals should not get health care when you got citizens here that will work until their bones fall off because they're trying to make it to 65 so that they can have some type of health coverage when they get a certain age. So no, well, able-bodied people shouldn't have been coming over here and getting free health care when America hasn't figured out what to do with citizens' health care.
Okay, I need you guys to mutually. Okay, we're gonna go to the next call. Thank you, Jessica. We got 3 new callers. Just go. Area code 502. 502, area code. What is your comment, your thought, or your question?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm looking for 502 area code. I'm looking for 550.
It's me, Brother Martin.
Okay, turn down your
Brother Martin.
make sure you turn down your microphone. I'm not your microphone, your YouTube, Facebook, Twitter X, whatever you listen to, turn it all the way down or turn it off. Just talk straight through the phone.
Everything is down. Can you hear me good now?
Yes, sir. I can hear you now. Come on. Okay.
Okay, hey, I appreciate what the lady had to say. Appreciate your show, Brother Martin. Man,
Thank you.
love you. Appreciate you. Appreciate all my Chicago brothers and sisters there. It's just a shame to me, man, how people always want to blame the Republicans, where the Republicans was actually the party that started the anti-slavery movement. Jim Crow, all them things like that, man, was started by Democrats. Everything that's socially, economically destroying black people is Democrats. Gangs and all that stuff like that started from some Democratic CIA agent that crept in there, gave some idea to some black people, and then it's transported all over America. I mean, drugs everywhere. Even when the immigrants come here in America, the immigrants come, not just the immigrants, the embedded drug dealers, the drug cartel in our communities with a already made drug base destroying our people, but ain't nobody mad about that. How can you not be mad about that when black people is at the end of every road, period? They keep on getting us to march and throw up that fake black power, which makes me sick. But we never accomplish anything. They keep us focusing on the mountain, climbing the mountain, while the Chinese people own the mountain, while the Mexicans own the mountain, while the Asians own the mountain with filling stations, hair salons, and all that. But guess what we get to do? We get to march and pull up the the buggy with the horses in there. Let the homosexuals hop on the back. We'll pull them to the finish line. Come back to the back of the line. Guess what? We'll get the people, the tree huggers and the homosexuals, the transgenders. We'll pull them to the line off of our struggle, pain, and tears. But we never owned the piece of the mountain. We always are there struggling. Oh, we're gonna overcome. We've been overcoming for how many years now? How many years are we gonna overcome? How many food stamps do we need? And then I turn around and bring the immigrants over here, give them $1,500 worth of food stamps. Lord knows how much money, homeowner loans, and won't give us a dime. Come on, man. Everybody should be outraged about that. I don't care what color you are. It's just sad, man. Can't keep doing the same old thing, man. All these Brandon Johnson type cats, the chick their head, the beat a bug, chick their head before it is, they get in there, talk a good game to black folks, and black folks still get dogged out every time. But see, you know one thing they're good at though, Brother Martin? They're good at having us dancing in the parties. They want us to jigaboos. We got all the moves.
Tell the
we
truth
can shake your
and
booty.
shame the
We can do
devil.
all that real good.
Let you
But
slide.
we can't own nothing though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We don't want us owning nothing. We're gonna have all the rap music doing it's killing our babies every day. Little babies twerking, booty shaking. That don't make nobody. That makes me infuriated. But how in the world can we keep living with that drill music? Lil Durk and Lil what's your name was talking about we killing Tookie, smoking Tookie and what's your name, getting rich, and then we wonder why our children are crazy. Well, if you can kill people, be famous, have all the women in the world, all the money in the world, who can kids gonna listen to? Us or them? Come on, man. That's easy. No, said Diddy, P. Diddy screwing all of our babies. Men, women, and children, but he's a star. How do we keep going for that? At some point, man, we got to just say, come on, man. The Democratic Party ain't got our best interest. Period. It's just sad, man. It almost brings tears to your eyes, man. The way they easily dog black people. We sit around talking about, we got these black colleges and all these HBCUs. Only thing they do is work with George Soros, Bill Gates, trying to kill us with vaccines, all kind of murderous stuff in the vaccines. Half of my family members dropped dead. Half of y'all's family members dropped dead with blood clots in there and brain aneurysms and cancer that exploded. I mean, come on, bro. At some point, we got to just say, oh, no. We got to get off that train, fam. I'm telling you, man. We can't keep thinking the same stupid ways, man. Give Donald Trump a chance. If Donald Trump send a bunch of delegates to Donald Trump's office, say, here's what we want. And watch and see if he do it. If he don't do it, vote his butt on that ass. Straight like that. That's it. If you know what I'm saying, send about 1,000 progressives. And let the progressives have a mandate for the children in Chicago's community. Say, Trump, this is what we want you to do. If you do this, I mean, put housing for us like you did, like they did the immigrants. If you give us the money instead of them, man, I'm voting for you forever. Because that lets me know that you got love for our people. Not just those slogans and all that bull crap. I want to see the money in the black community. That's it.
Because, brother, if you recall, and I think people seem to let this slip their mind for whatever, Donald Trump is the only president that ever did a agenda for black people. That platinum plan for Black America, that was for black people, not people. If you ever read it, it didn't say for minorities, not for people of color, not for disenfranchised communities, and all those other cold words that mean everybody's gonna get it except for us. No, it was a black agenda, and he put $500 billion on it.
There you go.
But we don't talk about that. Instead, we'll sit right over here and say, don't neither one of them do nothing for us. Don't neither one of them do nothing for us. But then when you say, here's something that Trump did right here, they'll sit there and just turn away and look at it. Same thing with the opportunity zones. Tim Scott, a Republican, is the one who invented the opportunity zones. Right. Now, the fact that when that program got here to Chicago, what did the black aldermen do? Let the white aldermen use those funds up north and did not use them here on the south and west side. Same thing with that TIF money. Same thing with that TIF money that y'all hear Zoe talking about all the time. Same thing. They take that TIF money and instead of our black aldermen use it over here on the south side and west side, what do? They let those white contractors come to City Hall, bring those affordable housing propositions and ordinances. And then what do? They say that they have mixed income in it. So if you got 100 units in this affordable housing, in this high rise that they want to build, they'll put 5, 10 low, quote unquote, affordable income units in there. And that will make them qualify to get that TIF money. And they'll build those high rises and stuff downtown. Absolutely. With that TIF money. And then when it comes time for us to ask for something, what do those black aldermen say? Oh, well, TIF money, well, it's expired. Well, if it's expired, that means that it was active at one point. So when it was active, where did it get used over here? It didn't. It got used up on the north side with them that knows white aldermen do everything. Same thing with this thing that happened yesterday. A perfect example. How they blocked us from getting into City Hall yesterday for that budget meeting. It was a budget meeting at 9:30, and then it was a city council meeting at 10. They blocked us from getting in that meeting because they did not want us to get to that mic and let the public know that no, this budget was not just about corporate tax head. It was also about those raises, about these property taxes that are out of control, about all this money for illegal immigration. So what did they do? They violated our rights, would not let us get in that meeting. The Democrats did that. Those same black Democrats sat in that meeting with those white aldermen.
Yeah.
And agreed to not let us in that meeting because they did not want us on that mic to tell the black community what was going on. The black Democratic aldermen teamed up with those white aldermen, knowing doggone well that those white aldermen only got 5% increases for downtown in the north side.
Right.
While they sitting here watching us get 133, 90%, 80-some% increases. The black alderman joined up with the white alderman to do that. Those black aldermen did not say, no, let them public speak. Let them come in. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Come on. Come on. Come on. So when people say that y'all down there just speaking, and y'all ain't doing no good, being down there just hollering on the mic, they don't know what they talking about. Those aldermen know the power of us being down there in those meetings. They know the power of us getting on that mic and letting our message be heard across the city and throughout the country. It's only the ignorant Negroes here that think that it was just about us going in there and going off on the mic for 3 minutes. No, we do not say what we say in public speaking and get up and leave. No, we stay for those entire meetings. There have been times when we have stayed 3-4 meetings a day.
Right.
And that gives us an opportunity to see who votes for what, how they vote, what they're voting on, who puts ordinances up, who supports what ordinance. And what I can say is, in the 3 years, almost 4 years that we've been coming down there, there has never been a black alderman, not one, to ever stand up and put an ordinance on the floor for the south side or the west side housing improvement or programs or any of that, or housing programs or anything that's for black people. They have never done it. Those black aldermen support everything that those white aldermen propose, everything that those Hispanics propose, everything that even that one Jewish alderman, Silverstein, gets everything she wants. Our black aldermen never bring anything to the floor for the black community. Never.
Jessica, let's go ahead, brother. I got another caller, but go ahead. I'm gonna let you go ahead. Make it quick because I want to.
I just want to let y'all.
Go.
Okay, I just want to make this clear. This is what I want all your listeners to research for themselves. That digital ID. If the government ever gets hold to that digital ID, every transaction that black people make. Well, you can't buy a pair of tennis shoes because they ain't gonna have no cash no more. If you take away the cash, there's no more freedom for nobody. They're gonna have the Chinese socialized credit score. That means if you say something out of the way, they take money off your books. If you're going somewhere, that's why they got all these cell phone towers. If you go somewhere in Chicago and make a speech, they'll just cut your gas cord off. And this is really happening then. So everybody, please research digital ID, because that right there is an Antichrist system. You won't be able to buy, trade, or sell unless you have this new ID, and that's going to lead to the mark and everything else. Everybody has to research that for themselves.
Okay, thank you for your comment.
That's more important than everything.
Okay, thank you for your comment. The last 4 digits, 0295. 0295.
Hello, Brother Martin. This is Brother 10 Speed. How you doing today?
Hey, long time. How are you, Brother 10 Speed? Long time.
I'm doing right. I'm doing fine. You got the most powerful voice in the studio today, which is Sister Jessica. Well, I remember hearing Sister Jessica speaking one time about they're taking black folks' houses. Now, I've been on my block, actually, my birth certificate on this block, and I'm 57 years old. We've been here since 1967, so me and my brother inherited my grandmother's building, keeping the legacy going. Now, as I look out my block that I've been my whole life, I'm seeing illegals. And some of these buildings that some of my friends' parents used to live in, and most of them lost these buildings because either no one else knew that their mother took out a second mortgage for the building, then that person might have gotten old and got dementia. They didn't want to lose the building later on because no one understood what was actually going on. This happens so much on my block and also here in the Austin community where I'm from. But when you look at some of these buildings, they were given to other minorities who are now renting to illegals. So when I see stuff like this, it fires me up because these are the buildings that, I'm still here since my birth certificate got this address on it. And I'm still here. So you look at it and you see that you said, my God, man, what's going on in neighborhood gentrification? I said, no, man, it's the Democratic Party. And I remember the sisters mentioned one time how they're taking black people's housing. But you know, back in the 90s, they were sending a certain group of white old men coming by trying to get these black people to take out certain kind of loans. They wound up losing their houses later on when these folks got old. So I know the sisters were speaking about they're taking black people's building. I kind of want a little bit more detail as to, you know, what's going on with that when you guys I guess you bring it up to the council. I'm trying to figure out what are the black aldermen, what are they saying and what they're not going to say. And then one question. We need to ask these black aldermen just straight up, are you for or are you against deportation? You know what I mean? Because we need to find out what's going on. I've been on Brother LaShawn Ford page a couple of times, you know, I'm on West Side. Hey man, listen, are you for deportation of these illegals? They never answered. I was trying to catch them in somebody meeting me back and asking the questions, but we need to get them on the mic to say that they're for illegals or they're against illegals so we can have something for us when the election time comes.
Well, if they're Democrats, they're for illegal immigration. See, that's the mistake that we make. And Martin, we talk about this.
Yes.
How people think that it's an individual. No, it's a party. Yes, that LaShawn Ford is for illegal immigration because the Democratic Party is for illegal immigration. If you want a candidate that's not for illegal immigration, then you have to be with a party that's not for illegal immigration. See, we fall for the okie doke thinking that this one right here, see, he a real one. He a real one. See, he be talking. No, if he's going to be with that party, he's going to do what that party it does. He's going to support the policy of those parties. That's what he said. If he's going to run on something different, then he's going to run with the party that supports the policy that he believes.
Yeah, you know, like around my block, I probably wear my mega hat, and everybody like, wow, Terrence, we can't believe that you. I said, yes, I left the Democratic Party when Donald Trump lost the first time. I didn't vote at all. I didn't vote for Barack Obama's last one. I was upset with him. I didn't vote for second. I didn't vote for Donald Trump. But then later on, I said, oh, wow, this man is about something real. But once they let Joe Biden up in there, you black people, this man was actually during his presidency was a keynote speaker at the head of the former Grand Dragon of the Ku Klux Klan, and he Negro said nothing about it while he was the president. Y'all ignore that. But y'all on my Facebook page call me the racist and call me this and that. And I'm telling you all are looking at personalities and not policies. And everything Donald Trump said and doing today, Joe Biden was led in the 80s and the 90s. He's mentioned about bombing all these other countries bringing in drugs. I don't understand our people. I told them, y'all got to look at the policies. You voted for these illegal people on our block. Y'all voted for them. You all put these people on our block and everybody left me here. So now I gotta wake up and look at these people and see all these illegals on my block right now. I'm like, man, I wish there was nobody I can call. I'm so sick and tired of looking at these people. And I admit, I'll be honest with you, I'm prejudiced. I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm very prejudiced. You know what I mean? I like my Austin community, 99.976% black. You know, I've been there my whole life. But I understand things are changing, but I understand that the Democrats are bringing on this gentrification. Our neighborhood is changing. Yeah, you keep putting the same people that don't want to help you keep the family house or find out what's going on. Because we lost a lot of these houses in the, like from 2010, 2000 for family.
Yeah, that mortgage crisis.
Yeah, we lost it from that. And some of these guys have these drug addictions in these family block. They family, because my grandmother and all the other grandmothers in the block, they all died around the 2010, 2013. They all died around that area, baby boom. So my grandmother's sons wasn't doing jack, and my brother had to take over. And thank God he had a great job, and I got just an okay job. But we're trying to maintain a 2-flat right now. And he just said, man, you know the taxes. I said, you kidding me, man? Yeah, I said, it's up all. He said, man, Terrence, it's hard on us, man. We got to maintain our grandmama's legacy. I said, I know, man, but here's the thing about it. We got to pay all these bills. Then we pay these bills. I'm like, wow, what's going on? You telling me now the taxes are going up higher? I mean, I try to tell my friends, y'all keep voting against us, man. You got the city, the county, and the state. Y'all keep voting these people in, and you look at my block, and y'all come on the block. What's here and said, I'm still right here. Look across the street at your old house, man. Look at what you just gave up by voting for this mess. You don't have your house. They have all these illegals in these houses. Mm-hmm. Who's still paying these people's rent? I would like to know. But you all voted yourself out of an awesome community that you could have been. All people stopped getting off drugs on my block. For some reason, everybody stopped getting high the past few years, although it was proud. Now y'all got a chance to redeem yourself, and you can't do that now. These taxes, man, I mean, I like to ask a crazy question. What can we do about it? It just seems to me that we just can't do anything about this here at all. And this is why I'm a Republican now. Everybody knows. I never got into politics, but I switched to Republican. I wear my MAGA hat. I get into the conversations, and I try to tell them, show me some policies, and get rid of the personality stuff. And none of these black folks can say nothing. They can't say nothing. All they can do is he racist, he this, he that. I wouldn't care if he was racist. All white folks are racist to me. So it's about who's going to benefit. Bro, you know, I'm a prejudiced person. Sometimes I gotta check myself. But the thing about it is, if I tell you that Democrats or Republicans, if you're going to tell me y'all racist, so what? But which one's going to benefit us for right now? What's going to benefit us? You've been voting one way for all these years. It never changed our circumstance situation. Let's try something different. Let's try voting Republican and see what happens. At least give it a chance. Look at the policies. Look at what's being said. You don't read it. You go, they say on MSNBC, 24 hours nonstop. Talking about what's going to happen. What's the latest news? But Brother Martin, I'm telling you, we done lost our awesome community. I hope y'all doing better on the South Side because it's over for us over here.
They taking our stuff. You're right, brother. They just straight taking our stuff.
Yeah, gangster. And then we giving it to them. We still. This is what they do. They come to these preachers over here on the west side, especially like around the Madison and Division and North Avenue areas, and they come in your face and they smiling, clapping, like you just won the lottery. And you clapping with them. You don't know what they just said on that microphone. All you know, you clapping with them. Let me give you guys one perfect example before I let you guys go. I go to this clinic on the west side, which is Chicago Avenue and Cicero. You know, it's an Austin Health Clinic. I go in there one time. All the black women that was there gone. They're all gone. I said, what's going on with this? And they said, Terrence, I know how you feel. I said, yeah, where the sisters at? Where the sisters at? Because I'm always talking with them. Did you know they were all gone? But I said, I went to Emma Mick's office 2 days later, right down the street now, a block down the street. I talked to her. I said, sister, what's going on? I said, listen, why come in this black neighborhood, all these workers here are Hispanic? Well, there's nothing I can do about it. I said, why come you can't? This is your ward. How come I said, you said, well, that's a Cook County thing. I said, it doesn't matter. I said, you got some pull over here. I talked to her for a minute, and she had that old slavery sound and voice, and that made me so mad. I got up out there, and I was so mad. I said, I want to take a petition on this. So I go back there. When they first started doing the deportation here, when I went back there the same week, you know, it was all workers, all black.
Yeah. 10 speed.
All the workers were all black.
You can't tell it all, man. We got 2 more callers. You can't tell it all. I know you're excited.
Okay.
We're going to go.
Okay, thank you, Brother Martin, man. I appreciate the time, man.
Okay, no problem.
Bless you, man.
Thank you. I believe it's Michael
Martin,
Bay.
let me answer his question.
Go ahead, Jessica.
Let me answer his question about what can we do about the property tax situation.
Okay.
Well, one of the things that we're doing, first of all, we encouraged everybody to file their appeal. Okay. And then in addition to that, Danny of Chicago Flips Red is calling for a boycott of property taxes. And then in addition to that, I wrote a letter to Maria Pappas demanding a meeting about these property taxes, demanding that it be an explanation given for the disproportionate amounts that are issued to the different communities in terms of why the South Side and West Side was so high. And how is it that the North Side and the suburbs are so low? And about that 13 part installment plan that they're offering for people to pay at a 9% interest rate. And I'm saying that if the county is really acting in good faith, due to the fact that they sent out the taxes 60 days late because they said that the software didn't work right. And they just paid $30 million for that software. And they said it didn't work right. And that's why we got the tax payments 60 days late back to back. And so then I'm saying, well, then if you all want to make that right, then why should it be tax interest, 9% interest on people who take the 13 installment plan? And I gave her 3 to 5 days to answer. She did not respond. So right now we're getting ready. When the holiday season is over, we're getting ready to do a press conference against Maria Pappas about this issue with the property taxes. So that's what we're trying to do right now. So don't think for one moment that it's nothing that you can do. We have to fight them back about these things.
Okay. Thank you. I believe it's Michael Bay, isn't it? 1381.
Yeah, what's going on?
All right.
Hey,
Now.
Martin,
Before you get started. Before you get started. No. Let me say something. I'm the host here.
Just forget it, man. Just forget it.
Ain't no forget it.
That ain't cool. You keep
Hey, brother, this is my show. I can listen. I'm not silent you. Brother, I'm going to ask you.
Say what you say.
Okay, thank you.
Controversial, and I ain't even saying nothing yet, man.
I was trying to speak before I let you, brother. I'm going to go to the next caller. I'm going to skip this brother, man. That's okay. You ain't got to call back no more, man. Come on, Bill. I'm not dealing with this.
So now you gonna skip?
Yeah. Go. Come on, Bill. Come on, Bill.
Hey, how you doing, Martin? Hey,
good.
Jessica. I want to start off by saying it's heaven sent that there's Chicago Flip Red. I'm a fan. I'm an even bigger fan of yours. If these people had the right to get your property in all of these years since 2016, they would have took it.
Absolutely.
They hoping that you would have slipped up some kind of way so that they can get it, but you didn't. And to show you that it is God working with you guys, through you guys, for all of us, the proof is in the pudding. It's been a lot exposed, and Black people are not jumping on board. I came to the conclusion. I heard Old Timer again. There's no change in his mind, and some of these celebrities that's steady campaigning when you didn't put facts and data from the civil rights movement all up into today to see that these people ain't for us. Number one, the both parties have their issues, but the Democrat Party has had the Black vote since the civil rights movement. And at that point, Lyndon Baines Johnson said it. It's been quoted that he'll have these Negroes voting the next 200 years.
Mm-hmm.
And ain't nobody taking this into context, what he was saying and what is actually being played. Look at all of the Democrat cities in the Black areas, how they look. The opportunities that's been available since then. It's nothing. And these people have the audacity. They running a campaign, not even trying to make amends with Black people. It's like they don't care. This is what they doing right here in Chicago. The property taxes didn't go up like that in none of the white areas. It's targeted, and it's to show their dominance. And right now, voting half and half, I don't believe in that right now. I believe every able and Black voter should be voting Republican or against the Democrat Party to show some alliance and allegiance to each other. You can go back and vote any party you want, independent. You can go back to the Democrat Party, but at least make them recognize that we are not the same black people that we have been for the last 60 or 70 years. This is ludicrous when somebody can't see and that this party hasn't been for us. So the end result is some of us just can't go along. It's been exposed that somebody like Old Timer, D.L. Hughley, all of these people that stand 10 toes down with all of the facts refuse to acknowledge their blackness over a party. I don't care if it's money, positions. You got to put your black skin first. And I'm gonna end it at this is saying I appreciate you guys to the fullest, but I'm hoping and praying that Chicago make a stand because the whole world is looking at us. If 10 of those alderman seats get flipped and the Tony Preckwinkle is voted out and Brandon Johnson, that's gonna make a strong statement. At this point, I think you guys have the lead, forefront to get some independence or whatever candidate, and people will get behind you. The ones that bought and sold, let them be bought and sold, and they stay over there, and we keep going and doing what we got to do. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you.
I appreciate the encouragement, and thank you for the compliment and the encouragement. And, just get on board, keep spreading the word that we need to flip red. And I think you're right. If we can get 4 or 5 seats in City Hall, that at least we could send that message. I do believe we need to get a Republican mayor. For sure, we need a Republican governor. For sure. If we can do any flipping, it will send a message. So let's keep on pushing, and thank you for the encouragement, Bill.
Well, I know one thing. I know, Jessica, we don't move by sight. We move by faith. We know that I believe that Illinois had at least 4 Republican governors. We know that. I know at least 2 in my lifetime, maybe 2 or 3. So we know that's not impossible. That's not an impossible thing to see. It's just a mayor's seat. So I'm Jessica, I'm gonna have you to close it out. We got about good 3, 4, 5 more minutes, and just give us whatever God lay on your heart to tell us. And I appreciate you coming on here tonight and volunteer. You were serious coming on here tonight. You were serious. You said, "Right, I'm coming on." I said, "Norman, Jessica, she's in the background, people. Always in the background on my text, people, on my text, telling the host what to do. You need to do this, Martin. You need to do this. You need to do this. You need to do this." Oh, somebody called trying to come in. Oh my God. Okay. Jessica, give me a minute. Let me see what this call is talking about. Because if they're confrontational, I'm not dealing with that tonight. I had enough of that last night. I can't do it 2 days in a row, people.
Okay. Did Doris call?
Not to my knowledge. She didn't call. Let me see. People, you got to realize I'm working 8 hours a day when I come here. I'm tired. And when people get to hollering and screaming, it takes a lot. Okay, Miss Michelle. Okay, Michelle, you're my last caller. Come on with it. Michelle.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Turn down your audio. Can you turn down if you got Facebook? Okay.
Okay, it's on speakerphone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you don't have to leave it on speakerphone, but yeah, I'd rather for you to take it off speakerphone. That would be nice. You could talk with.
I just want to say.
Go ahead.
Okay, I just want to commend you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Because the property tax that they talking about, that 9% interest, I went to my alderman and I told them, it never was 9%. I said, that's a crying shame. Because, see, I don't understand why it used to be 1.5% if you was late. And they don't even have that on the bill anymore. That's all I got to say. I don't know how it jumped from 1.5% to 9%. It never was like that.
The 9% is if you're going to do that 13% installment plan. Is that the same thing you're talking about, or are you talking about something different?
I'm talking about, okay, you know how you pay, okay, I'm a homeowner, right? And if you was late on top of the property tax bill, they have like dates. So you pay from this day to that day, they tell you how much you owe, right? Then it's like, it was like 5 sections, right? And it was 1.5%, right? Now they saying if you don't have the money, you can pay. You gotta pay 9% interest. I don't understand how it jumped from 1.5% to 9%.
I see what you're saying.
You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes.
And I went up there and I told him, I said, I don't know what y'all doing, but y'all playing game. It was never like that, ever. Because I keep everything. I can prove it. And that's all I'm trying to say.
Who is your alderman?
Mosley.
Oh, Ron Mosley.
So I don't understand why people don't see that. So I know a lot of people are struggling right now. And, you know, I learned a lot from you and from, I forget, you know the lady, you know what I'm talking about. I learned a lot because I was the one, I started listening to y'all. It started making sense. And people be cussing me out. I said, y'all gonna keep voting blue no matter who? They said, I'm gonna always vote blue. I said, whatever, and I don't entertain it no more. But like you said, it's the party. It's the party. Yeah, y'all making a lot of sense. And Martin told me he was gonna promise, because I voted for, remember I met you, remember Martin, we was at the swap meet.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that. And I said, you know, I voted for Brandon because of you. Remember that, Martin?
Right. I apologize. Hey, listen, I voted for him too. I voted for him too. I voted for him, you know. And
I know, but I said, you know what? I was mad because I voted for him because of you.
Right. And you know what? Listen, and let me just say this. Personally, I don't want to sound like no hypocrite. I really did what my heart told me to do. You know, I wanted to see another black man, and I'm just being honest with you, in there. And it happens to turn out to be a disaster for black people. The brother is so stronghold for illegals, and black people, we were just like left at the bottom. Then all of a sudden he starts shifting toward black power and I'm a black man and all that. But you start doing all that black talking when the money was gone. Now you're talking black. Now when the money was here, we didn't hear you talk like that as much. Very rare. So it's a new day, new time. What we're realizing that a black face in a high place. We realize that these people are working the agenda of the party and not of the people who put them in the office, which mostly us put them in there. We voted for that brother and we stood behind him. And you know, we love him as a black person, but he's no good for us. He's no good for us. I'm sorry. You know, I am so disappointed at Brandon. I don't even know if I could sit down and have a conversation with him. If he paid me, I probably couldn't do it. I could not do it, people. I'm disturbed. And I was just telling Jessica today, if he run against somebody, if I don't like neither one, I hate to say it, I may have to stand down. And I don't like to not vote. I'm not that type of person. I don't like to encourage people not to vote. I don't do that, but just my personal thing, because I'm saddened the way black people are being treated here in the city of Chicago. It bothers me. And I had an influence in this election on voting for Brandon Johnson. People that believed in me, had confidence in me, that was on his platform, did it because of me. And I want to say, people, I am sorry. I got voters' remorse. I have it too. A lot of us do. I'm just being honest. I can apologize. And I can admit, listen, if I make a mistake in the public, I can come back in the public and apologize. And that's what I'm doing. And y'all forgive me. really forgive me. I beg of you guys. Jessica beat me up all these last 3 years. Just beat me up. Just kept stabbing me, beat me up, beat me up. You voted for him. You beat me up, beat me up. But then I said, I said, okay, Jessica, you got me. You got me. You got me. So that's where I'm at, people. And I appreciate it, Jessica. I'm going to give you the last words to say. That was our last caller. We're not taking any more. Been on here to her.
We forgive you.
Huh?
We forgive you.
Thank you. Thank you.
We all forgive you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, I agree with the caller, Michelle. We forgive you, Martin.
Thank you.
A lot of people, quote unquote, drunk the Kool-Aid, and that's the reason why we're encouraging people to flip red. We're saying, look at what happens when we just vote color. When the only thing that matters is that they Black. This is what happens. We have to be more politically intelligent than that. So in parting, I want to say thank you for letting me have come on the show and be able to talk to the audience and be able to have this conversation, because it's a conversation that's needed. And I want to say thank you to everybody who've been putting work in down there at City Hall and in other ways, in other ways too, because a lot of people help, get everything to where it is now. Before, and like I always say, before the shirts, it was me, Zoe, Blake Moore, Michael Young Bay was down there, Sims was down there, and we was down there like every day. Shout out to Doris for doing that contract for Black Chicago. That her and Erica did that. That's dynamite. That's something tangible for us to have and have to present, to say that no, there is a plan, there is a launching pad, and that was another thing that people didn't expect Black people to have, to think that there would actually be something tangible to say that this is what we want. And so Doris and Erica put that together. They put that together upon, I think, Brandon Johnson running for office. And the Democratic Party down there at City Hall never gave any credence to it. But nevertheless, they did do it. And so I think now maybe we're talking about getting it before the U.S. Department of Labor. But, we love Chicago. And I know I love Black people. I love y'all. And I just want us to do well. I want us to be more politically intelligent. I want us to go back to being a God-fearing people, a family-oriented people that wanted families and wanted good and had ambition and made achievements. I'm 63. So I remember when Black Chicago was actually a Black Chicago, when we had Black businesses over here on the South Side. We owned things. We had Black banks, Black theaters, Black stores, car lots. I mean, there was a time when Black people did well in this city, and we did well in America, much better than what we're doing now. I want to see us get back to that. And I know that we can. So thank you, Martin. Thank you for your platform. We're going to keep praying, keep pushing, no matter what it looks like. We keep pushing. We keep pushing.
That's
you
right.
know? And that's where it is now.
Oh, Lord. Brother Old Timer, we trying to get off here, man. And yeah, you
you crazy. Maybe he had to change your heart, Martin. Maybe he had to change your heart.
Okay, now. When old brother, okay, Old Timer, go ahead, brother.
I ain't saying that.
Well, see, I mean, that's okay. I mean, the freedom is for everyone in the United States, and that's a good thing. But I still say, whatever party that you're going for, you have to remember that this is a democratic country. This is a country that's under democracy, and it's governed of the people, by the people, and for the people. See, just like the White House is not the president's house, it's the people's house. So, you can't, you have to keep things in perspective, and the Democratic Party is for democracy.
The Democratic Party is our enemy. And Martin, go ahead and end it, because we're not ending it like that. The purpose of this show was talking about flipping Chicago red. We're not dealing with what we're not talking about. And you know what? That's your prerogative to feel that way, but you don't get to discourage the whole movement. Mute him.
Okay, I got it.
Mute him. He does not get to encourage or to discourage all the work that we're putting in. There are people that's trying to move the needle. We're doing it. I said all the other people that's doing it. You had other people that called in tonight that did their comments, that's trying. We're trying. Don't nobody have time for the negativity. Now, if he want to stay over there with the Democrats, that is his prerogative. We have the right to vote. Praise God for the fight that our ancestors put in for us to have the right to vote. But what he's not going to do is keep on with this negativity, trying to discourage us like what we're doing ain't nothing. No, he going to stay where he is. And that's the way that's going to be. Thank you, Martin. It was a good show. And we ended it on a positive note, not nothing negative to discourage the people. Black people are discouraged enough right now. We're having a hard time right now. And one thing about it, Chicago flips red. And the other people like Carter Trust, Erica, Doris, like I'm saying, all these people, George Blakemore, you saying you got voters remorse and all this, these are indications of we're trying. We're trying. And I believe God is going to meet us with our faith and with our work. And our lives are in his hand, not old timers and no people that think that way. Let's keep moving. Go and get some rest because you're looking tired.
I am tired. You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited. Tell the truth. And what? And shame the devil. I love being black. Make sure y'all share the video, like it, subscribe to my YouTube page, Martin G. Johnson. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jessica. Thank all my wonderful guests. I appreciate you guys. Listen, feel free to call in anytime. This platform is open for people that look like us.